Hi, my name is David, and I'm going to walk you through how I solved the CSWP practice problem 14.2. For this problem, we're going to focus on the base first. And the interesting thing about the base is that the height and the width are given as reference dimensions. So these are supposed to be dimensions that are driven by other dimensions. So which dimensions are going to drive those? Well, it looks to me like this 44 millimeters from the center of this hole to the center of this hole, and the 60 millimeters are basically acting like the width and the height of that base part. And then to get out to the actual edge of the base part, we can use this 10 millimeter radius right here to give us a sense of how far it is out there. It's 10 millimeters from this corner out, and then by extension, it's going to be 10 millimeters all along this side and this side and this side and this side out to the edges. So we're going to start by creating a center rectangle, and then we're going to use offset entities to expand that out and then fill it the corners. And that way it's going to be 10, like a thickness of 10 all the way around. And that'll get us the 80 reference and 64 reference dimensions. But those will be driven rather than driving dimensions. Okay, so we'll start in the top plane here. We'll use the 60 and 44. And this is just going to be for construction. And then we can go and grab all of these, so the rectangle, use offset entities, 10 millimeters. That's going to create the basic rectangle. And then we're going to fillet that rectangle 10 millimeters, all the corners. And now we've got the main sketch for the base. Then we can extrude. Oh, yeah, like this, extrude. We want to do a blind extrusion, and we want it to be 15 high. So now let's get the holes out of the way. We'll start a hole wizard. Almost started to sketch there. We'll select countersink for the CSK is standing for countersink. We're in millimeters, so that's going to be metric. And then flathead screw, size M5. We'll do just a normal fit, and then a through all end condition because we can see through to the bottom of these holes. Then for the positions, we'll wake up the center of each of these fillets. Oh, there it goes. And now we've got the 4 holes. Okay. So now let's work on creating these extrusions here, the top like circular head thing, and then these sides right here. So actually we're going to be working in this plane. It'll be the front plane, and we're going to create the circles, and then these sides here. So that way we can extrude this part and then the circular part. We need to do that because we need something for the rib to bump up against into, or this rib, and then you can see with the parentheses too, there's another rib on the other side. You can see it right here. So we need something for it to run up against, and this is kind of like the backboard, of a basketball hoop. We need to have that there in order to hit, so that we can stop our rib. So let's draw that in the front plane. Whoops, didn't quite grab the right thing there. Front plane. There we go. Let me start by drawing those 2 circles. They're going to be 36 and 23. And vertically from the origin, that's going to be 88. Out to the side here is 24. So that positions those. Let me move these out of the way. Okay, and then we want to grab a tangent line coming off of here, going to that point, this point to this point, and then we want to go tangent to the circle again. So I think we didn't quite get tangency, so let's just make sure that we got tangency. There we go. Okay, fully defined, so now we can work on extruding. We'll extrude this part. We'll use a mid-plane extrusion, and it looks like 10 is going to be the width. Then go back into that sketch, extrude this part right here. This one will be 35. We can see that from this dimension. That's how far to extrude the head, where it looks like a head to me. And now all we have left are the two ribs. So we'll draw one of them and then mirror it to create the other one. Now, to get the ribs, to draw the ribs here, notice that we can't just use one of the existing planes because it's shifted over a little bit, right? So we want the rib to be lined up with the center of this circle. We want it to be perpendicular to the top plane, but we want it to be going through the center of this circle. So I'm not sure if there's a better way to do this, but what I did is I turned on the temporary axes, which if you have some kind of cylinder like this, you know, coming from an extruded circle, then it'll show you that axis. And then went to reference geometry plane, and we want something that is going to be perpendicular to this plane, but goes through this line. And that does it. Just clicking on those two references, it automatically figures out that you want to be perpendicular rather than parallel, and that's it. So then we can start a sketch on this plane, and I'll extend it out a little bit. There we go. And then draw our rib. And we don't need that temporary axis anymore, so we can turn that off. So let's draw our rib then. We'll get a line going from here down, go out and in to go to an arc. And I'll just end the arc right there and start dimensioning it. So it's a distance of 15. We've got some kind of angle going on here of 80 degrees. And then this one you want to be a little bit careful of. You want this distance from the corner here to the line. You want that distance to be 2. So this is not going to be a horizontal distance. It's going to be a distance that's perpendicular to this line. You know, be a little bit careful. When I first was doing this model, I was off. My volume was off by a little bit, and that's because I had dimensioned horizontally from this edge to this point right here of 2. But actually, it's perpendicular is what you want. And it's shown that way in the picture. I just kind of screwed that part up. Okay, and the other thing too is we want this arc to be going into this point right here. So I'm going to click and grab this one and make it go into that point. And we're fully defined. The reason for that is we're supposed to be lined up with the centers of these holes. It does mention something in here about that. The rib arc ends aligned with the centers of the countersunk holes. And it makes sense from the picture here too. It shows that arc going into that edge, which is the edge that's going to be going through the centers of the holes. So then we want a thickness of 10 for the rib. So we'll go into features, rib, thickness of 10. We don't want to be going out in this direction. We want to flip the material side to be going in, and thickness of 10. And there we go. So there's our rib. We can hide this plane. And with that rib, we'll mirror about this plane here. And we should be good to go. Let's check our volume, 143801. 143801 cubic millimeters. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for watching. Take care and keep studying.